Okay.
All right, welcome to Momentum Monday, the first one of the year, January 3rd.
Happy New Year, Lindsay.
Happy New Year.
Lindsay and I tied one on, Ivan. It's amazing. The dog, if you just put a little bit of beer in their water and a little Ambien in their food bowl, she slept for 2 days. She's still kind of in a little bit of a coma.
Incredible.
So she's with me. What a beginning of the year. I can't believe you don't own Bitcoin. Of all, like a swing trader, did you swing trade out of it?
No, I've been trading it throughout the year. I just don't own anymore right now.
Do you own it through GBTC or how do you?
Robinhood, whatever they offer there.
Oh, Robinhood. Okay, cool. All right, let's. It feels like the year's half over because of just this crypto weekend. I've never seen anything.
I know, it seems to
I've seen everything. Sorry, I've seen everything. I just cannot believe how it's such a perfect start to 2021. Like everybody's locked down.
Yeah.
It's an extension of the stock market. It's just, and you've got the macro policies, but crypto is so tiny. I don't think people understand, like when they take it so seriously, it's like not the size of Facebook.
Oh, it's not that tiny anymore.
It's tiny in the relative of like currencies and bond markets. It's just a smidge, and so it can go anywhere. I think what the crypto people have right, which is what's fascinating. Maybe pull up a chart of this week. I don't know if we could have, who can we get a real-time chart from? Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I don't know who you would use for that right now. But what's fascinating to me, dude, is that they could be right. Like no one owns it. It's tiny.
Yeah. Let me get something out for this.
And it's like Bitcoin's become like the reserve currency for shitcoins, meaning anybody who has anything left in their shitcoin seems to be converting it to Bitcoin at the moment, or Ethereum. Like none of the other things are participating.
Have this.
So that's pretty good. So that's from Finviz.
Let's do interactive, and I can do, I don't know.
Okay, that's good. And do you see Ethereum right now? Yeah. So look at the weekly. My goodness, this is just.
Yeah.
Is that logarithmic or is that algorithmic?
I don't know. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
I don't know. There's people making fun of me for selling at 32 and 29,000.
You never know in advance. So
I'm just saying, like, how do you? I've seen things in my life, but and here goes Ethereum. There's nothing below. Like it's so far away from its 200-day moving average. It's just.
How the other ones
unprofessional. I'm just always going to say, I'm just not trading any of the other ones. God bless Litecoin. I mean, wow.
Litecoin.
That's even more fast. Well, Ripple's a shit. That's interesting. So you see like now things that aren't real are just not rallying. I think those are the three that are moving. God bless. So anyways, that's got people's attention as we move to the new year. I think the big question I have is, will people hit the bid for taxes this week? So let's see let's just go through the
possible completely. We've already seen some weakness in momentum stock, but just real quick on your thoughts on cryptos.
If you were a momentum trader, would you be holding right here?
Probably partials, but as I said, I've been trading Ethereum and Bitcoin throughout the year. I just didn't trade in the past few days.
Things do not
just to share an observation that for many people around the world, it's a lot easier to buy Bitcoin than to buy gold. Because I remember earlier in the year, in February, a friend of mine from Bulgaria was asking me, how can I buy gold? And I told him, open an account here and there. And they said, oh, they have such and such requirements. I cannot open an account. So he ended up buying Bitcoin. So it's a lot easier.
Access is everything, man. Good point. It's like getting liquor. If they didn't have liquor at every corner store, people would just smoke weed.
So going back to the markets, I mean, we're already starting to see some weakness in momentum stocks. If you look at the number of the percentage of stocks above their 20-day moving average, it has gone down from 85% at the beginning of December end of November to about 55%. So underneath the surface, I mean, the indices are near all-time highs and flat, but under that surface, there's been correction in quite a few stocks. I mean, nothing spectacular, but there's definitely, that's why we say bull markets correct through market rotation. And a lot of if you take a look at a lot of the momentum stocks, they're just kind of pulling back to their, 50, 20.
Oh, what was that? That was Wayfair, but Restoration Hardware hasn't pulled back. That's interesting. So that's an interesting pullback there.
Even though it kind of look weak here. I mean, it's not a bad short to the 50-day, shorter. Sorry if you're long. I actually, when I visited Restoration Hardware, like a brand new, like huge castle on 4 or 5 floors, but we were the only people inside. In Summerlin.
Oh, in Nevada. Yeah, that'll do well there though, dude. The COVID's going to be over within a year, and that place, that's just a killer. They win. Wayfair can never do that. Their knowledge of retail, anybody who comes out of this, Apple, Peloton, Lulu, in Restoration Hardware, the 4, obviously Home Depot low, but the 4 that come to mind, they're going to have a bigger advantage than ever coming out of this. They're going to be able to negotiate with the malls better than ever. They are the anchors. So if you look at Peloton, Apple, Lulu, I guess Nike will start opening stores. People just don't get it. Like, now Lulu has massive competition from Peloton right now and all these Instagram brands. I think Lulu is the one that scares me the most. And you can see it in the chart. They literally haven't proven themselves in digital. And it's definitely everywhere in retail. They have a huge international market, but they're getting Instagrammed and sliced and diced to death by, I get 1,000 competitor brands a week.
Exactly, there's so many. Alo Yoga in California, there's a bunch of British.
No, but if I was CEO of Strava, I would be in that business right now. If I was I was talking about this today on my bike ride with someone I was riding with, smart kid, and I'm like, if I'm Strava, he was making fun of like, what's Strava doing? And I'm like, Strava could be huge. There's probably 20 employees, profitable business, and Strava could start offering their own brand of clothing. It's just the same materials. It's all about the brand. And so you can see it in look, I said this earlier in the year where Peloton would eventually pass Lulu in market cap. I didn't think it would take 6 months. I thought it would take 5 years. And, they're close. What's that?
It's
Are they the same? I mean,
yeah,
I mean, the last 6 months, now Lulu's not going away, don't get me wrong, but they're in the fashion only business, and they can, they're getting 1,000 attacks. Peloton has the machine, and Peloton has the social network, and Peloton has that hour a day from their fitness hounds, and now Peloton controls their distribution. And so overvalued, undervalued, I can't get into any of this stuff, but relative value, there's some, so at retail, you got Nike, Apple, Restoration Hardware, Lulu, Peloton. I'm trying to think of when I go to the mall, who else I would ever go to the mall for. I can't talk for women, but as a guy. So they're going to come out of this stronger. What else are you seeing? Biotech, is it still ripping?
Not really. As I said, we're seeing a pullback, but I remember that exactly 13 months ago, I went to the mall because I rarely go. And the 2 stores that made
for a haircut or for clothes? Did you go for a haircut or for clothes?
I was buying something from Lulu at the time. That was before the pandemic. And the 2 stores that stood out were Peloton. So I went inside. I talked to the people at the time to see what's going on. And also the other store was Purple.
That must have been a thrill for those people.
And yeah. And as you can see, Purple.
By the way, I was talking to someone before the show, and they thought you were Mexican. I was like, whoa, that is the least Mexican person I've ever met. So this is we're jumping all over the place because we've both been drinking, but this is the winner of the stupid mattress thing. I saw a couple traders talking about this, and it's on my screen now. This is like Casper.
Yeah. I think Casper is public as well. Let's see.
No, Casper is public, but the stock's a dog. And then go look at this Purple, and they won the battle.
And definitely,
the war.
13 months
won the war.
Like, wow.
The same businesses. So like doing their thing. They're voting for who they want. It's really fascinating. Like even in a commodity business like this, you go look at Purple versus Casper, and I don't know what the financials look like, but the market seems to really love Purple.
Yeah. So going back to biotech, I mean, slight pullback. It's normal after the big breakout. It's kind of, you know, even okay to test its 50-day here.
XBI is like, I think the equal weighted one, the better one to look at because it's been the stronger one. Let's just pull that up.
XBI.
It's a risk on. So it's pulling back orderly. That's fine.
Below is 20-day. I think it can easily pull back to the 50-day. I said so many momentum stocks are right now breaking below their 20-day, therefore they can test the 50. A lot of the hot IPOs, you know, Snow, PLTR.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Tell you what, Snowflake at 200, that interests me. Well, Palantir I'll never get. Okay, this is good. I was looking at Romeo, which is RO, which was a hot SPAC that I was following. And that just got killed. Yeah, I think they switched their ticker to Romeo. Yep.
Oh, RMO. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean, definitely we're seeing a lot of those hot names from November. They're pulling back.
Yep.
And at the same time, we're seeing stocks like Amazon and Netflix, which did nothing for 3-4 months.
Yeah, the money's flying back to the safe havens of tech, which are Amazon and Netflix. It's like the money. That's a really bullish sign. Like money's just rotating into like what they think is cash. I mean, I think the world now thinks of FANG as cash, where they hide out during like when things get too hot. And we'll see what really happens if Netflix can't break out here and Amazon can't break out, and if Apple, can't break out, and if Facebook can't get some legs here, that may be interesting because this hot money is coming out and it feels like it's just rotating. Like Boeing looks like it's ready to break out. You know what I mean? Like if I look at Boeing.
Yeah, it's taking its time, definitely. I mean, definitely very tight. So
it's tight. Any good news could send that thing 300.
Anytime it can go. But the moves in Amazon and Netflix could be pre-earnings momentum moves because the new earnings season starts in 2 weeks, and the period of the 2 to 3 weeks before the earnings season are typically bullish for the stock markets. So for the stocks that crushed market estimates last time, we might see them starting to rally ahead of their next earnings report. Obviously, every speculator wants to be one step ahead of the other, so that's why we see those pre-earnings rallies. China kind of bounced. I was super surprised to see A shares at like multi-year high, despite the fact
that's legitimate. I mean, a lot of that was Baidu, which is an old heavyweight in that index, doubled like in 3 days. Yeah. I think because if you hate Alibaba, you gotta like Baidu. Sorry, Baidu.
Yeah.
BIDU.
And Alibaba is still 30% below its all-time.
Yeah, but long-term trend, you own that. But I'm saying, like, pull up Baidu. I think this helped, like, because the Chinese government's ganging up now on. I mean, look at that. That thing was dead. Yeah. That's a huge move. It's like the old Google. You had some warning. There was a nice base there, right? And flagged, and man, the short sellers got creamed. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. So a lot of the so-called recovery stocks are holding well. Obviously, the market is forward-looking, kind of betting that the vaccines are going to work. And I mean, so many of them. I think on Friday we had Booking, which is the former Priceline, closing at this might be all-time highs. Let me double check.
Wow.
Yeah, new all-time highs. So Priceline is close to all-time highs.
Yeah, they pull up India's version, the one that pained me. It was like my worst pick of the last 5 years. MMYT. I think that was basing well even. Yeah, I mean, you see that get above 40. I mean, I got to put that back on my screen because we are coming out of COVID. That thing was left for dead. This is now back to pre-COVID levels. The market, okay, this is where this is very interesting. So that was Priceline bookings?
Yeah, and let's check.
Here's MMYT. Let's look at Expedia.
Expedia. Yeah, similar.
Okay. Come on. These are unbelievable setups. Okay,
Yeah.
so good. Meaning the world sees this as
The
coming out of.
market's betting on recovery, on a quicker
Not only
recovery.
betting, they're now betting on
And
growth.
you can even see Visa and MasterCard are also, breaking out.
Yeah. Sorry, you've got to just have an active watch list right now. Like there's just so much going on. Yeah, because Square's pulling back, but you got Visa and MasterCard,
Exactly.
and then you have Disney also all-time highs. Well, Square's pulling back. Sorry, no, it's a jihad mode still. So, yeah, sorry. So the market's rotating. It's going into what people perceive as the best brands to benefit off an opening. Live Nation, rocking.
Exactly. MSG, Madison Square Garden, also they've done really well.
Oh man, but the shorts have just. I wonder how the hotels are doing, like Hilton's. Because Airbnb is just going to destroying them. Oh my God, Madison Square Garden. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Let's take a look at Hilton. Yeah. As all the recovery stocks look the same, like a gap, then sideways.
Those are high multiples for these guys. These are like pre-COVID multiples.
Yeah.
So
What was
this
your
is fascinating.
Six Flags? I think let's take a look at Six Flags. Looking similar.
Oh my God, this thing's a turd, and it's like back.
Yeah.
It's broken its downward trend. Next thing you know, is you're going to tell me SeaWorld's doing well.
What was the symbol? C. Let's see.
Just kill whales is the symbol.
Yeah, they're doing better than Six Flags.
That thing was 8. You have a 4-bagger.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
killing whales is a good business.
Seems
There is no bad businesses anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The other sector that stands out right now is the semis. SMH definitely holding real well here. A lot of good setups. 5G, we're still in the beginning stages of.
Yeah. The only thing that will kill this market, as I keep saying, is supply. And guess what? It's coming.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm going to end it short because I'm like, what do you do? Like people, there's nothing to short unless you're just a glutton.
There's stuff to short. The question
Well,
is,
I think you got to be more of a market timer there. I was just going to look at a couple other things. I'm just looking for a couple things that I thought were worth sharing. Stocks of the year, last technology and money. No, I mean the Bitcoin sentiment trade is bananas, but the semiconductors is real. Where's an NVIDIA?
NVIDIA is just consolidating.
Right.
It's done nothing for a few months, but looks.
And that may play crypto catch up this week.
On a weekly, I mean, it can break out any moment.
Yeah, that could play crypto catch up.
AMD is also looking good.
And then Intel's getting not takeover, but like getting bothered to like clean up the. So even Intel's like gotten to the point where the value guys are saying, "Get you out." I mean, Twitter looks good. I don't know what looks really bad.
As I told you, a lot of the momentum stocks that took off in November are now pulling back.
Yeah.
If you want to short, focus on those stocks, but be very nimble.
Okay, you're the man. Have a great week. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right.